All right, so get the today's deep dive is a little different. We're not starting with like an article or a study or anything like that.
Right.
We're starting with a piece of text. Basically just instructions someone wrote.
Oh, okay.
But trust me, these instructions, I think they're a window into something way bigger.
Oh, really? So, like how, so...
Well, first of all, the text is in Portuguese.
Interesting.
It's basically someone telling, well, something to create a 15-minute podcast episode about celebrities.
Okay, so right away, that tells us a couple of things.
Yeah.
I mean, first, just how global, even something like podcasting is becoming, you know, we're not just talking English language content anymore.
Exactly. It's worldwide.
Yeah, worldwide.
And then here's where it gets even more interesting. The text is addressed simply to you.
You?
Yeah. Like, no name, no specifics. Makes you think of all those AI writing tools.
Right. Yeah, totally. Like, I'm picturing somebody typing into one of those boxes, you know?
Exactly.
Give me a podcast episode.
And if that is the case, then it opens up a whole other can of worms, right?
Oh, yeah.
About what authorship even means in this context.
Yeah, because who's the author? Is it the person giving the instructions or the AI carrying them out?
Exactly. And then the instructions themselves get pretty detailed. Like, it's not just make a podcast about celebrities. It gets into length tone.
Yeah.
Even name specific celebrities.
About which ones?
Ben Affleck, J-Lo, Diddy, you know, big names.
So fascinating how those names like resonate across cultures too, right?
Yeah.
It's like the language of celebrity is universal.
Absolutely. And get this, the instructions, they actually say the podcast should be based on current news.
Okay.
But then the scenario it describes is totally made up.
Oh, really? Like, what's the scenario?
I don't want to give too much away, but it involves like a love triangle and a secret business deal. It's wild.
So we've got this blurring of fact and fiction happening.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's really interesting. And it even goes further, like the instructions, they even get into how to structure the podcast, where to put the call to action, it's like a podcasting masterclass hidden in this random snippet.
Wow. So even with AI potentially involved, the human element of communication is still crucial, right?
Oh, absolutely. Someone had a vision for this podcast.
Yeah.
And they had to find a way to translate that vision into instructions that a machine could understand.
Yeah, that's fascinating.
So think about it. We started with this simple piece of text in Portuguese, and we've ended up talking about global communication,
Yeah.
AI celebrity truth versus fiction. The whole thing is kind of mind-blowing.
It is. It really highlights how interconnected everything's becoming.
Yeah.
And it leaves us with some pretty big questions.
Like what?
Well, like as AI gets more sophisticated, are we even going to care who or what created something?
That's a good question.
And will the lines between human and machine creation just become completely blurred? You know?
Yeah, that is something to think about.
Yeah.
And that's our deep dive for today. Thanks for exploring these ideas with us.
Absolutely. This was fun.